All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 168-pound division, where it was a great fight last night. David Benavides beats Caleb Plant and sends him somewhere you really don't want to go. And also, Canelo Alvarez already has his action crew in effect, trying to help him get out of a fight with David Benavides. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, let's talk about the fight that took place last night and the aftermath. David Benavides does his job against Caleb Plant, and the protection squad of Canelo Alvarez immediately go to work trying to find a way to knock people out of the way of Canelo Alvarez. And it is absolutely ridiculous. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, let me say thank you very, very much for all your support. Thank you for checking out the live stream that we did last night for the fight. It was a lot of fun. But let's get into this. Also, and thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks of videos like this, sponsoring the video. All right, so first things first. David Benavides did what I thought David Benavides was going to do against Caleb Plant. And I did a video before talking about how a lot of experts were picking Caleb Plant to knock out David Benavides. And I said, man, I just cannot see it. Like, I can't see it. This guy is absolute. David Benavides is a monster, and all of that pressure that he puts on fighters is going to be very difficult for Caleb Plant to overcome. However, I got to say, in the first 3 or 4 rounds, with the movement of Caleb Plant and the shiftiness of Caleb Plant, hey, man, it was looking like these guys might have been correct. But right around, I would say, right around the 5th round, 4th round, 5th round, David Benavides starts catching up with Caleb Plant, starts landing straight rights, landing his jab. Caleb Plant, in my opinion, just did a whole lot of holding during that fight, but David Benavides started being able to work himself out of the grappling of Caleb Plant, started landing some really big shots on the inside, just, imposing his strength, and, on Caleb Plant. And, over the course of the fight, over the course like 6, 7, matter of fact, as I look at my scorecards, I had it a complete shutout for the last, pretty much from round 6 on. Had a complete shutout 6 rounds on, and there was one round out there, I do believe it was around number 10, where I thought that fight that he actually could have had, David Benavides could have got a 10-8 round, because Caleb Plant was the only thing holding Caleb Plant up was the fact that he was grabbing and holding on David Benavides. But, the guys that, as far as that fight goes, the one guy proved that he was just a different level fighter than the other, and he broke him down. Now, David Benavides broke down Caleb Plant, and around, man, I'm telling you, 11 and 12, I was shocked that they kept making that fight. The fact that Caleb Plant continued, to take all that punishment and was able to, fight back in the 11th and the 12th is a testament to the toughness and the stick-to-itiveness of Caleb Plant. So Caleb Plant didn't lose any of my respect in that fight, other than, God, man, that was a lot of holding. That's a lot of holding. And on top of it, man, I don't understand what Kenny Bayless was doing. Kenny Bayless was doing in there, man, because, man, Caleb Plant from the very first round just literally stuck his hand out. It's like just didn't have his hand out there as a jab, wasn't doing anything, just a straight arm just to keep it out there in the face of David Benavides, was not throwing that punch or using that punch at all. And they did not one time did they warn Caleb Plant for holding. It was crazy, but not as crazy is what took place immediately thereafter in the fight after David Benavides wins his unanimous decision. Michael Benson, if you're familiar with Michael, if you're not familiar with Michael Benson, let me tell you who Michael Benson is. Michael Benson is a reporter out of the UK. And on Twitter, he shared some information that from the WBA and its president, Gilberto Mendoza, which said that Gilberto Mendoza has suggested that the WBC mandatory David Benavides should face the WBA mandatory David Morrell. The next with the winner to challenge Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO super middleweight titles. Canelo Alvarez is the most protected fighter ever. Think about everybody else that has multiple. Think about everybody else that has multiple mandatories in boxing right now. For example, Errol Spence Jr. has the WBA and the WBC, right? He has the same belts. He's in the same situation where he has a WBC belt and he has a mandatory. He had a mandatory, and you could get rid of, if you get rid of this Stanionis thing, the Virgil Ortiz thing that they put in there. He had a mandatory. Why doesn't the WBA suggest that Keith Thurman fight Stanionis, or the winner of Virgil Ortiz and Stanionis, so that Errol Spence can go do whatever Errol Spence wants to do, right? You got Devin Haney at lightweight. Well, there is no mandatory for him for the WBA at lightweight because they're not going to order Gervonta Davis to fight Devin Haney. But where else are you doing this? Are you going to do this for Alexander Usyk and have Alexander Usyk's WBA mandatory Daniel Dubois fight his IBF mandatory, who may be Hrgovic, so they can knock each other off, so that Usyk can go fight whoever Usyk wants to fight, whether it's Deontay Wilder or whoever it is? No, it's not. No, they're not. And had these dudes come out with this right the day not even the day. Mike Benson put this out right after the fight was over. Yeah, let's start calling for David Benavides and David Morrell. Not the Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavides. Have one of these two guys knock each other off. No. How about Canelo Alvarez? You treat Canelo Alvarez like you're supposed to treat every other fighter, and you have your WBA guy. If you're going to try to consolidate belts, you have your WBA guy. You order him to fight his WBA guy next. How about you do that? Or how about the WBC? Order Canelo Alvarez to fight David Benavides. I'll tell you why not. Because Canelo Alvarez will drop those belts. Because Canelo Alvarez will drop those belts and fight Dimitri Bivol at another weight class for no belt whatsoever. The double standards with Canelo Alvarez are just off the chain. Absolutely, positively off the chain. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.